because I don't want it to happen to another consumer, especially being a female. And it's right where the location is, but a lot of college students are over there. And so a lot of them are there by themselves. And I, as a parent, I just think it's very important because they have to, they have to take care of the vehicles for the first time, sometimes for the first time by themselves, away from home. We have children, you know, and they've had to do the same thing. And then it just put me and my family member in jeopardy, life in jeopardy. And then the condescending way I was spoken to, I was finished at that point because it just continued to happen each time I tried to direct my concerns to the manager at the time. So, and then I was still told I need struts and I need new tires, and I just bought new tires. And so now they're adding more and saying, well, I'm just being honest. So it's like, are you keep up charging me and telling me I need more every time I come? So that was just the final straw because I just don't want anybody else to have to experience that. And, and, I was just really angry. I mean, in my spirit, I was angry. I was not yelling or screaming or cursing anyone out. I handled it very professionally because I understand they're people too. And I want the same respect, which I wasn't given by a couple of people. I took the vehicle in because I was hearing some noises on as far as referencing to my brakes. So I felt like I was having some brake issues. So I took it in for them to look at the vehicle. And when they looked at the vehicle, they took the vehicle back and then came out and explained to me what they thought was going on with the vehicle. And I said, well, I'm concerned that I have to get brakes because I had just had brakes replaced on my vehicle with less than a year before. And I was like, so can you explain to me why I all of a sudden need new brakes, a complete new brake job, which included the pads, the rotors, and also the calipers. So I was like, well, why is that? And they said it's more on one side than the other. I said, well, why didn't you guys check that the first time? Less than a year ago. They said, well, we did, and it's just something mechanical that it can just happen. I said, well, if you took the time to thoroughly investigate what was going on, would this have been a problem? They were like, well, no, we did. I said, well, I don't think that's possible. So it was a disagreement on that level, first of all. And his name was Chris. He explained and said that he felt like that his mechanic that looked at the job at the time had thoroughly investigated the problem that I came in for. So at that time, he proposed the complete brake job, which again, like I said, um, it included the pads, the rotors, and the calipers. I was not in agreement with that, but I went ahead and got it done for my safety. So that was an astronomical amount, and I was not willing to pay that because I thought it was just ridiculous, and I was still upset because I felt like a year ago that they should have found this problem that all of a sudden just came because they said it was wear and tear. And I said, well, it wasn't wear and tear. It was something more internal that should have been fixed back then. So then I had to come back. So I got the brake job. I got everything they recommended. Then I had to go back a month later, less than a month later. And I heard some grinding on the back left side of the vehicle, which I was like, there's some grinding, which, the noise I'm familiar with, which was metal on metal. I take the car in and they said, yes, you have the brake pad on the left rear has worn out. And you also need to replace the rotor on that side as well. And I said, well, I just got these brakes done less than a month ago. So you're telling me the brake pad has worn out and now I need brake pads and a rotor. And he said, yes. I said, so you're telling me that once again, somebody did not do their job of thoroughly investigating the problem that I came in here for. Now it's a year, add the month plus the 11 months before for this brake job. And he was like, well, yes, I can't tell you what happened, but I just can tell you right now, you're going to need new pads and new rotors on your back brakes. And so I was like, once again, I am not happy with this. And he was like, well, the good thing is that it's covered under warranty. I said, no, because now this is less than a month later that I paid you all this money to get this complete brake job done. And now I'm coming back to you with less than a month later because I heard a sound in my vehicle, which to me, it is failure on their part to do their job, because anything could have happened to me, because I actually was taking a family member to a doctor's appointment out of town. I had to drive there out of town, and that did put our lives in jeopardy, because it is now the rotor, it is metal on metal grinding, and we weren't aware of it because I thought it was the vehicles next to me. So anyway, we go back and forth, and they weren't in agreement, and they were like, well, we're going to replace it because you have the warranty. I was like, this is negligence on your part. Then they keep the car. They had kept the car overnight then, so they keep the car overnight again. I have work commitments that I then have to make concessions for, because now I have to change my schedule to leave the vehicle there, and my husband has to work, and he has his car there, and it just messed up the whole day and a half basically for us, and there was no accommodating for me at that point in time. So it continued to go back and forth. We got the vehicle repaired. Yes, they did repair them, and then they found out that it was sticking on the back left side, and it wasn't registering. There was something, a flow or something not working. They then had told me that they put it on the machine and things like that. But yet they didn't inform me that they had put it on the machine the first or second time. So this is the third time. So now they're saying they're going to put it on the machine. And that's how they found the problem. My problem is this. I felt like Chris was patronizing me and being condescending to me, and like I knew nothing about what was going on with my vehicle, that I had to bring to him to tell him about what was going on. And so this was negligence on his part. He kept informing me, my mechanics know what they're doing. I said, if they knew what they were doing, I wouldn't be here for the third time. So that is where we're at. And I asked for some form of compensation, because it was just, it's by grace of God, all is well, and we didn't get in any accidents or anything like that. But we did drive in rain. We, slick weather. At any point, it could have been not so good. So that is where we're at. That's where we stand, and that's why I wrote in that complaint. They tried to make me feel. Let me see. The first time, he said, this is just the work you need done. I can only tell you what my mechanic has saying to me. I said, okay, well, this is a reoccurring problem because it's happened twice to me. Can you give me more information? He was just like, it's just wear and tear. So to me, as a female, I felt like he was talking down to me and not really talking to me as if I understood, or I was of equal level of knowledge of knowing about my vehicle. So not that he was pushy, but he just was unconcerned, in my opinion, about why I was so upset and concerned about why this happened again. And then the second time at one point he was like, well, at least we're giving you, it's under warranty and you don't have to pay anything. I said, well, I'm not going to pay anything anyway, because I shouldn't be here a month later after you had just did a complete complete brake job for me. So he didn't offer me anything. He basically told me in so many words, in my opinion, I should be lucky that it's still under warranty. And I was really appalled by his statement that he made. Actually, totally offended, to be perfectly honest. I'm going to answer that. So that's a loaded question, and I appreciate you asking. Thank you for asking that question. So let me tell you this. I was so upset that I had to call my husband on a number of occasions to speak to them directly, because of the way I felt like they were talking down to me. So my husband was there with me and, and on the phone, and then came in person. So I would have to defer and ask my husband. I have to consult with him right now. He's heard the question. Um, I would always accept an apology. I am nervous about taking my vehicle back because I don't know if the mechanic is going to thoroughly do that, because I did propose to them. I told the manager, I said, if you guys can't find it this time, I would like for you to take it over to the dealership yourself and you guys pay for it. And he was like, well, our mechanics are very good and have great skill sets. We won't have to do that. I said, well, this is the second time. I said, I'm just giving you the option, because I asked him if he had an option B, plan B in place if it doesn't work out and his mechanic doesn't identify the problem. He was like, we don't need a plan B. So I would say to you that I'm going to ask my husband and defer to him, because right now I'm hesitant about going back to Tire Kingdom. Although I had a great experience with the previous manager and the work was really, had done a great job on it, on my vehicle before, same vehicle. And I would just have to defer and consult with him over whether or not we would actually go back, because again, I felt like it was negligence. I was on the road driving this vehicle and the brakes pad went out, and it was grinding. It was, excuse me, metal on metal. So I would definitely accept an apology. Anything other than that, I would like to talk to my husband about when it comes to it, because I think it's very important that we make a decision together on it, because it's very important to me that I do kind of do a little bit more research, ask a lot of different questions. If you don't know, have them to take the time that they need to take with you until you understand it, and also take somebody with you, so that if they didn't explain it to you to the level that you understand, then maybe the other person that goes with you can. So at least two heads can come up with an understanding about it. I think it's very important that you don't leave there unsatisfied.